going to show you how to work up this little cupcake. I have 3 of them to make today for my daughter's birthday. These little cupcakes are made for these EOS lip balm containers. In the bottom there's a little elastic so that you can, oh, it's tight. There we go. And that's what we'll be making today. So to get started, we're going to need a couple of supplies. We're going to need a hook that is a US G6 4.00 millimeter. You'll need a stitch marker. That'll come in handy. Some scissors. I like to use 2 elastics. I picked these up at my local dollar store. I think for $1 for all of these. They're the perfect size, maybe about 1 inch. 2 of those. Oh, and these little dolls. They can be purchased in my yarn shop, dearestdebbieyarns.com, and I am going to be using these to put inside the little cupcake as a surprise for my daughter's birthday party. I think they'll like that. For this project, we're going to need a little bit of cotton, number 4 worsted weight. This is Bernat Handicrafter. And I'm also using some Bernat Dippity Dots. I believe this yarn was discontinued. So just anything like a light number 4 worsted weight yarn can be used. Getting started, we want to start with a slip knot. This yarn also can be a little difficult to work with the little puff balls. All right, so here we are. Now we're going to chain 2. 1 and then 2. In that first chain, we're going to work 5 single crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We're not going to join. We're just going to continue on our second round, working in that first single crochet right here. We're going to work 2 single crochets. So there's 1, 2. Now where our stitch marker comes in handy is now we're going to put it in that first stitch that we made. And we're going to work 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So we have a total of 10. 3, 4, 2 in this one. So that would be 5, 6, 2 in this one. So that'll be 7. These little puff balls are getting stuck together. 8, 9, and then 10. Take that stitch marker out. Now we're going to work a single crochet in the next stitch. This is actually round 3. We're getting started on. And our little repeat for this round is to single crochet in 1 stitch and then increase in the next. So 2 single crochets in that next stitch. 1, 2. So we got to repeat that around, single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in the next. 1, 2. Single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in the next. have to do that a total of 5 times. So single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, oops, single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet in that last stitch. 1, 2. We now have a total of 15 stitches. We're going on to round 4 now. For this round, we're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1, 2. We want to put our stitch marker in our beginning stitch, and then work an increase in the next stitch. So 2 single crochets, 1, 2. So we got to repeat that around. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, increase with 2 single crochets in the next, 1 and 2 in the same. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, single crochet in the next, or 2 single crochets in the next stitch. I need to do that 2 more times. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, 2 single crochets in the next, 1, 2, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, 2 single crochets in the next, 1, 2. We now have 20 stitches, and for the next 2 rounds we're going to work a single crochet in each stitch. So there's our beginning. We don't have anything to count this round. We're just going to put a stitch marker in there so we know where our beginning is. And we're going to crochet around here. All right. Okay, here we are almost at the end. We've worked a single crochet in each stitch around, and we're back to our stitch marker, and we're going to do that one more time. So single crochet in each stitch around, okay, and we're at the end here with a single crochet in each stitch around. We still have 20 stitches around. Now for the next round we're only going to be working in the front loops. So the loops closest to us, we're going to be working in those. In the next stitch we're going to work a slip stitch in that front loop only. Okay, and then we're going to take our stitch marker and we're going to put it in that slip stitch that we just made. That's our beginning stitch. Now we're going to skip the next stitch, working in the next. We're going to work 5 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We're going to skip the next stitch, working in the next a slip stitch. Now we want to repeat that around. Skip the next stitch, working in the next, work 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch in the next. Okay, I think we have a few more times to do that. Skip your next stitch, 5 double crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Skip that next stitch, slip stitch in the next, skip your next stitch, 5 double crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Skip the next stitch, slip stitch in the next. Skip the next stitch, 5 double crochet in the next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Skip the next stitch, and then we're going to join with a slip stitch to that beginning slip stitch that we made and where we had our stitch marker. We're not drawing up this dippity dots, so I'm actually going to fasten off right here. But now we're going to draw up our cotton yarn. So here we are, drawing up our alternate color, and then we're going to get started on the next round of work. So to do that, we're actually going to look at the back of our work, and you'll see the back loops that we didn't work in. This one is the one that our 5 double crochets worked in. This is our skipped one. And then this one here is the one we worked our first slip stitch in. That first one right in there, so 2 away from this 5 double crochet, that's where we're going to insert our hook. So it's kind of hard to see with all these little puff balls everywhere and on camera. So let me get this on. I gotta see what I'm doing. There we are. Okay. And we're going to work a half double crochet. And we're going to work a half double crochet in each of those back loops around. So there should be 20 of them. We're going to work in each one of those around a half double crochet. I find if you fold your little shells down and pinch them, it's easier to be able to see those back loops. See them there? So we're going to keep working a half double crochet around. Some of them are hard to see here because of those puffs. Maybe that's why it was discontinued. It was a fun yarn. Could make some cute little cupcakes. All right, we're getting around here. Okay, I think I got 3 left here. Oh no, there's a couple more. Everything was folded in on me, I couldn't see. Okay, now that we are at the end here, we've got a half double crochet in each of those back loops. We're going to make sure that we have 20 of them. So I'm just going to remove my hook here to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. So yes, I have 20 half double crochets. Now, before we go on, we have those 2 tails, the ending and the beginning. I'm going to tie those in a couple of knots. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna trim those and get them out of the way. Now we can continue on. All right, so now for the next round, we're going to half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet in the next half double crochet. So working a front post double crochet. Now we're going to do that around, half double crochet in the next half double crochet, front post double crochet in the next half double crochet. All right, so I have a little bit of cotton here. I have a feeling I may run out. I have enough to, hoping I don't have to do a yarn change. Okay, so where were we? Half double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet in the next. Half double crochet in your next stitch, front post double crochet in the next. So we will have 10 half double crochets and 10 front post double crochets around when we're done. Just make sure that you don't skip your stitches. Sometimes they get hidden under the front posts there, or you don't want to work a front post double crochet around the same as a half double crochet. So we work in here. Oops. And then if you mistakenly work your front post double crochet in this part, if that's the same stitch, you'll end up with an increase. So when you're working your front post, make sure it's the next stitch. And then the front, or the half double crochet, and the next half double crochet, front post, I think we're almost at the beginning here. 4 more stitches. Oh, I'm stuck. Trying to see on camera is a little bit more difficult. Half double crochet, front post double crochet. Okay, and our last one. I think that's our last one. I just got to take a closer look. Yes, that was the last stitch for this round. Now we need to do that 2 more times. We're going to work half double crochet and then front post double crochet. And if you want, I've lost my stitch marker somewhere, probably dropped it on the floor. We can put that in the first stitch here. I'm going to do this. We'll make a makeshift stitch marker. This is our beginning stitch. And then we can continue doing half double crochet, front post double crochet around. We want to do 2 more rounds, and I'll meet you when you've done that. Okay, I've added another 2 rounds of half double crochet and front post double crochet, and we're ready to do our last round of work. Now, if you didn't already, I would suggest flipping it inside out and making sure that all your ends are dealt with. We already did the one. I just trimmed this one a little bit. And then if you had to change yarn at all, you would have to tie those off and trim them. So now for this last round of work, going to insert my hook back in here. We need those 2 elastics. So I've got some pink and purple ones here, and I'm just gonna put them on my finger. We're going to start a single crochet in our next stitch. Insert your hook into that stitch. Move your yarn out of the way, and for now, take those 2 elastics and put them on your hook. Yarn over and finish your single crochet. Now we're going to single crochet in each stitch around. Sorry, I'm trying to get these elastics. I find if you keep your finger somewhat in it to the side, it helps to be able to work. You can stretch it and pull it as you need. Now we'll work a single crochet in the next stitch, making sure that we're working in those elastics. And we're going to do that all the way around. So that was our 3rd stitch. I'm just going to put my stitch marker in the beginning here so I don't lose my place. And then continuing with a single crochet in each stitch around. So sometimes it helps to put your hook in the stitch and then in the elastics. They're going to be a little trickier near the end too, because it'll get tighter. So where are we? Okay, so you still have 20 stitches around, so you should have 20 single crochets around for this round, and they're all worked around our elastics. So it's a little tricky, but we're getting there. It helps to pull it and stretch it out to see where you're working in the end there. So two more stitches. I really like the cotton for this. I find it's a little bit stretchier and it works better for this project. I did try some Red Heart Super Saver this morning and my cupcake was stiffer than a day-old cupcake. It was pretty bad. So I'm going to stick to the cotton. There's my last stitch, and then to finish off we'll take the stitch marker out. We can join with a slip stitch to that beginning single crochet, and then we can fasten off this cotton yarn. Draw it up. I stick my hook into that same stitch that we joined in. Grab the yarn and pull it through to the inside, and then I just use a yarn needle to weave it in under these stitches with the elastic. I just don't have one here. And there we have a little cupcake. For more crochet patterns, tutorials, and yarn shop, please visit my blog, dearestdebbie.com.